Let's see, it says it's going live. Good evening, everybody. I'm gonna get this a few minutes here to kick over. I'm moving some stuff around. We're doing this live from outside. Well, there went the live notification. Oh, well, welcome to the homestead and on the porch. Close up the door because I'm going to enjoy this nice cigar that was sent to me. And let's see, good evening, Will. Figured I'd hang out for a while, answer any questions anybody might have, or talk about some of the new stuff that was coming in. And actually got some new products sitting here in front of me. Show you guys some cool stuff I found over at 511 today. So, anything you want to know about or talk about, you guys feel free to post a question. I'll answer it, and we'll get into this here in just a minute. I'm gonna light this nice cigar up. It was actually an award that was sent to me, if you guys haven't seen, about the 0 to 1 mile project, which we'll talk about here. That'll probably start the topic. So, 1 second. Trying a new blend. This is actually a Paragon's Havana Cuban of 2003. So I'll post a picture of the wrapper and we'll see how well it does. Oh. Well. Oh. Granted, I was going to wait till about 8, let this go, so we'll kick it. Well, since Will, you're the first one that posted up, where are you out of, man? We're broadcasting from Jackson, Tennessee. I've actually got a nice, Michigan. Oh, awesome. Well, I'm pairing, granted it's, my Oakley stainless cup, but we're pairing with some Tennessee sweet bourbon. If you guys, if you like bourbon at all, check out your local establishment and see about trying to find some Picard's Distillery Sweet Lucifer. I kid you not, that's probably the best whiskey you can get out of Tennessee, and it's made in central, just south central of Nashville. Man, it's small batch bourbon. It's good. It's not highly expensive, but it's awesome. So, well, let's talk about 0 to 1 mile a little bit. If you guys have seen some of the videos I posted here recently, the 0 to 1 mile project is my take on what it takes to do PRS and ELD. So if you're not familiar, PRS is precision rifle shooting, and ELR, which I'm constantly screwing up saying ELD, but it's ELR, it is, hey Wolf, which is extended long range shooting. So to kind of start the whole program off, about 3 years ago, I had a thought idea of what it would take, what equipment, what skill sets for the average guy, if you don't know anything about distance shooting or precision rifle shooting, what it would take. So the whole premise, everything was going to be based off of what you can buy off the shelf. So absolutely nothing custom made, no one-offs, or a guy, a friend of a friend that makes something, or a company that is so hard to get a hold of that, you have to have an invitation from the Pope or from, the Vatican to get a hold of it. Granted, Chi-Tech International is out of Huntington, Tennessee, but most people, they know what a Chi-Tech is, but they've only ever seen movies. They don't think that you can buy them civilianly, so that was kind of the premise to explain on the rifle side what rifles are custom built rifles and what rifles you could buy, basically off the shelf. Now, granted, you might have to call a company and ask them for that model. Might not be something at your gun store that that would have in, normal inventory, but it's something that is definitely catalog, orderable, that you can order. Ammo is the same way. All the ammo that we're going to use for the whole project, and actually make confirmed hits on. Now, unconfirmed hits are something different, which I'll explain that in a second. But confirmed hits will be all used with factory loaded, factory available, buy it from anybody, order it direct from the manufacturer ammo. Currently, at the moment, we are using Lapua Sinclair L 175 grain match grade ammo and Federal Burger Juggernauts in 185 grain. So on the rifle side, if you guys aren't familiar, I'm using a Steyr SSG 08A1. Mine is a limited edition. It's because of the color, not of the rifle, just of the color aspect. So I kind of got something fancy for me, but it was available. But we're going to go into, on the program, to start off of what tools and equipment you're going to need, what training you're going to want, ammo selection, and then, getting into your tools and equipment, what barrier bags you might want, what bipods, monopods, what type of scope, what type of ring mount system that you might want. Oh, thank you, Wolf. Yeah, I love that rifle. I can remember to talk and smoke at the same time. So we're going to discuss the rifles and what rifles to look for, what you're looking for. A lot of people, and I've seen a ton of this on a bunch of the precision shooting people. Everybody's like, I'm new to this. What do I got to get? And for some reason, everybody wants to start off with like a Savage, or they want to start off with a Remington 700 that they get from Walmart, or what you used to be able to get from Walmart. And not saying it's a bad rifle, but the classes. When you start looking at rifles, it's all the little details that move up and down that change what a $500 rifle can do to what a $15,000 rifle can do or $20,000 rifle can do. Yes, it's a gun, but there's all these little changes in between. And what I was seeing originally in having this thought experiment and thinking of getting this program to go was, what's the difference? What, for money's sake, let's say you look at a $500 Remington 700. Most people are familiar with that. What's the difference between that Remington and what's the difference between a Tikka T3? What's the difference when you look at a Bugara rifle, or you start looking at a Steyr rifle? Like, what are those jumps? What are those differences in the monetary side to justify spending a crap ton of money? Because that's basically what you're going to do. You're going to go from spending, a little bit of money to a crap ton real quick. And a lot of guys buy that cheap rifle, shoot for a year, figure out they really like this idea, or to get better, they spend that crap ton of money to make a cheap rifle, work. Let's see. Oh, well, yeah, $500. Yeah, and I've seen guys, and there's people out there. Hootie Who's a good example of it. He shoots a lot of budget friendly rifles, nothing like super extravagant, but there's a difference. What he does with his rifles and distance that you want to shoot. My thought idea in doing this whole program was to shoot from zeroing a rifle. And most people zero somewhere between 50 and 100, and then how far are you going to go? And for me, it was a mile. And that's not a ground mile, an air mile. That is a line of sight full 1 mile. And a mile for just a base number is 1,760 yards of line of sight. So that's what we were messing with. In doing that, and what I'm going to do for a video series is, we're going to discuss basically like this intro. Then we're going to get into like a rifle, and we're going to do a whole series on rifles and explain the differences and things to look for. And it's not going to be brand specific. It's going to, in detail, what you're looking for and kind of let you help shop around. Another one of the series is going to be what caliber. So keep this thing going here. Yep, I lost it. Caliber selection. When I started looking, I thought 308. I looked at 300 Win Mag. I looked at the 6.5 Creedmoor crowd, and 6.5 was really starting to get popular. It was starting to be, the new fad round at the time that I was thinking. 338 Lapua Magnum for big bore. I looked at 50 BMG, and to shoot and do that side of it, I didn't want to have to go and experiment a whole lot with ammunition and build all of the data. I wanted some data that was already out there. And I mean, talking about like Shytac, I mean, they've got their 375, their, was it like four? I get Shytac and Barrett mixed up. The 416 or the 475. I mean, they've got all these weird calibers and the big stuff. And I mean, the big stuff shoots really, really great at distance. That's what it's built for. You're kind of cheating if you're going to take a 50 BMG and try to shoot 300 yards. Like, you're going to hit it. Like, as long as you're within the ballpark, that round's going to go straight. I mean, those rounds are meant to go further, but they start having issues at certain distances. So for me, when I chose 308, was based off of economy, past experience, and the actual cost of just even owning that rifle. The rifle differences between the one that I picked out in 308 and 338 Lapua was only $500 more to have that large Magnum caliber, but the ammo cost was going to cost me, basically I could get 4 308 rounds for 1 338, so I could shoot 3 times more ammo, per shot. And granted, that was kind of normal. I mean, today's prices, and if whenever someone sees this video, I mean, it's 2021, it's the first quarter or so of the year, or second quarter now. But, I mean, 330 at Lapua now is almost as cheap as, or, within $20 of 308. So I could have, in today's standards, I could have been shooting 338 Lapua for 308 money. Maybe been like a, 2-to-1 ratio. But I also wanted to deer hunt with my rifle, basically to do anything I wanted, within reason. True. I mean, you get into if you're just going to target shoot. I mean, there's a bunch of different calibers, and like 300 Win Mag, 300 Ultra Mag, getting into like 22 250, 224 Valkyrie. I mean, these are all calibers we're going to kind of talk to give someone an idea. Are you going to precision target shoot? Are you going to precision hunt with it? Is it going to be an operation? I mean, some guys that are getting into this field are going to go into the military or going to go into police departments, and they're going to want to do this as a profession. So caliber rounds, being familiar with those will actually help and be involved. Let me light this up, and when it gets a little bit too dark, you guys let me know, and I'll flick a light on out here. So we're gonna discuss the ammo side of stuff, getting into like tools and equipment, cases. I'm retired. I like shooting for fun. Dude, I love. Trust me, getting out, going to the range, and just for some reason recently, 400 to 700 yards is like the ultimate fun experiment for me. My 400 yard engagements are like literally the ear to ear on me. They're 6-inch targets. And I love running my cold bores. Like, I don't get any more giddier than shooting these 6-inch face targets out at the range at 400 yards, just doing my cold bore shots. 500 yards is basically my new standard engagement. So it's nice having the room to do that. But so into the topics of, we're going to discuss ammo and what caliber selection. Give some people some ideas of different calibers. I mean, there's a ton of stuff. But I ended up choosing my 308. Moving into scopes. That's another huge ordeal. And basically, the easiest, quickest way I can break this down is whatever you spend on a rifle, you're probably going to spend 50% on an optic just to start. So, and that works if you buy, and we're talking new. We're not talking used or the secondary market. We're talking if you go to the gun shop and buy a brand new, or you online look at MSRP of a rifle. Uh, let's just say the Bergaras. I mean, that's $1,000 rifle. You're gonna be looking at $500 scopes to pair with it, minimum. So be prepared. And a lot of times I tell people 50% ratio is really good, but it's almost it's probably more like 70% of what you spend on a rifle you're going to spend on glass, because for the most part, the higher end rifle you go is the further distance you're going to go, and the glass has to kind of curve with that bell curve. So I see it's getting dark. Give me just 1 second, guys. I'm going to kick on this light. Hopefully it doesn't blind the camera. You gotta love the porch sitting. Oh yeah, definitely Wolf. I mean, when you're shooting competition, it's totally different than hunting or doing it as a profession, which I've actually done all three. So, past careers in life. So in choosing optics, I went with a Leopold. To me, when I look for optics, I guess I'm honest. I'm snobby when it comes to optics. I have vision issues, so if you guys are unfamiliar, I have night blindness and I'm colorblind. So when I look through optics, having powered optics for lights in scopes can be so like having illuminated reticles mean nothing to me because I can't see anything. If when I look through them, except for like an ACOG that is so freaking bright that my eye just instantly gets drawn to the actual chevron, I have to have really good clean glass quality. And for me, it starts at Leopold. I don't run anything less than a Leopold. For some people, they're real big into Vortex or Bushnells, and I've used some of them. I got to get behind a EOTech, and I really liked it. It was clean for the distances that we were shooting, but for what I was getting into, the Leopold worked. So, kind of explain. We're going to do a series on optics. Explain the differences. Oh, house cat wants out. Come on, little girl. Yep. Hello. Ugh, therapy cat. So explaining the differences in mills and MOA is going to be. Height works best. Give me 1 second, JW. So, getting into the mills and MOA conversation, like, that becomes a freaking nightmare and a headache trying to explain it, and a lot of people will just tell you, learn one or the other. Well, you need to have a reference point. So, I've actually done about 6 or 8 weeks it took me to get all the info and ingrained in my own head far enough to do all the mathematic measurements, truly measure them out. And like I got out with a feeler gauge, literally went out and mapped everything from 1 inch to 100. So I made sure those measurements were perfect. So when we do that series and we taught the difference between MOA and MILRAD, if you guys ever want to know anything about it, or somebody wants to know, just tell them to watch that series when it comes out. When I do that video and explain and give you the math components and explain the differences, literally of all the YouTubers and everybody that does phenomenal work on it, nobody breaks it down the way that I'm going to do it. I'm going to explain it so simple, so easy, that I really hope that's going to be an awesome video for people that are want to know the difference between MILRAD and MOA variants. The second things we're going to talk about are going to be focal plane, what objective. A lot of people want a 10 power, or they say you don't need anything bigger than a 20 power scope. There is some truth to that for what you're going to look at distance, But again, that's where we're going into the whole program of knowing what distance you're truly going to end at to buy an optic. So we're just going to use 308 for a really good example. Most everybody will always tell you 308 dies, it falls off into the earth at 1,200 yards. So you're going to want an optic at minimum to go 1,200 yards. So you're going to need a 10 power or something about a good 12 power optic that's got a nice big objective. So like we're going to explain how that works. But whatever you look for in a rifle caliber, make sure that you buy an optic that's good for like 1.5 times that distance. So when you search out and do your caliber selection, find out what they call effective range. Effective range is basically the distance you can engage hunting with. Not hit paper, hit steel, or hit a target, because you can artillery around. Instead of shooting flat line, you can actually arc one and bring gravity in. But actual engageable range or hunting distance, which is about 30. I think it's like 20 degrees or it's 30 degrees. So your effective range of a cartridge. Make sure you look for an optic that's good for at least 1.5 times that caliber or that effective range. So that'll be a series, and that kind of gets into some of the detail. The other thing is going to be what mount. Sorry, guys. That's really good. What mounts? And that's something else that kind of gets scary. That you start looking at some of these mounts, and most people are familiar with a good set of rings being, $50 to $100. You start looking at some of these precision mounts because you're going to build a precision rifle, and they start getting up there at a good set of rings, or a good solid one-piece mount like a Scallyworks or the spur mount, and I'm using a spur mount. They are stupidly expensive compared to like your standard hunting rings that go on your hunting rifle, but if you're gonna spend a lot of money on a rifle, you're gonna spend a lot of money on an optic, you're gonna spend good money on the ring system or your mounting system. You can't cheap out there. There's other things that you can kind of play with, but that's going to be into the series explaining, like each little piece. It's truly a stepping stone, and if you cheap out somewhere, it totally affects everything moving forward. So if you're ever going to get into precision shooting or distance shooting, like the extended long range or ultra long range shooting, I'm giving you a fair warning. Like this whole series, will be totally driven around explaining everything and going down that rabbit hole. So, with mine and what I did, it took me 2.5 years, almost 3 years, to get my rifle, the one that I wanted. After making, I narrowed it down, to that model rifle that I narrowed it for like another 6 months in caliber. It took another year, and sadly, COVID kind of screwed up my time frame for this because I was hoping to be about 12 months into it, but it was also a blessing at the time because it gave me 12 months to buy the correct mount. I didn't cheap out. I didn't waste money buying inferior equipment than trying to sell it or deal with it or throw it in the corner. So I'm really hoping that this series is going to explain to people, like, if you have to wait 3 more months to save up money, or you got to take that extra night of overtime to go out to buy the one that you want, buy it, because it really, really sucks if you buy a inferior scope or an inferior mount that does not work with what you're trying to do. So that's that. Let me go in here to the questions. Sorry, I'm gonna pull this up. No, I don't want to see live chat, so I want to see the chat. Here we go. JW, you asked. Let me see here. You just got an AUG M3-1. You're planning on putting a T2 on it. I'm sorry, real quick. T2. I don't know what the optic is off the top of my head. Sorry, I think T2. I think trimmer 2 is all I got stuck. And somebody's on Facebook liking something. But you were asking about ring height. Works best for the AUG. Okay, on your AG, and what's different is Oh yeah, definitely. Hold on, I'll answer that. All right. So, what's different about a bullpup? Oh, aim point T2. Okay. That is a fixed power red dot, correct, JW? It's the one I'm thinking of. Uh, your your cheek well, because everything's slid so much further back to your shoulder. You basically, if you try to run a small ring, it doesn't work for your natural cheek to eye relief. Most of the time, when I see somebody put on an optic, if it's a variable power, ACOG's about the only one that just like does direct mount to the rail because you can push it further forward. But you're gonna want at minimum a medium set of rings. So those are like 3/4 of an inch to like 7/8 of an inch. Most of the time, I tell people if you're going to run a optic or put a like a variable power scope on your AUG, you definitely want one and a half, or sorry, 1 1/4 to 1.5 inches off the rail. So a good tall set of rings. Like Accutech rings makes a good one. Leopold has a couple. Vortex has one. Depending on who you want. If that's that solid, or the actual, just a red dot that I'm thinking of, I believe that one comes with like a 1.5 inch riser. Just a Picatinny rail riser that will direct mount. It should work. The further forward you go on your rail, the easier for line of sight will be off the muzzle. The biggest thing you're going to have a problem with is learning height over bore. The only time that works perfectly, or that you can like figure it out instantly, is a set of battle sights on an AUG, and literally stick them, whatever your rail length is, stick them at either end. Put them on the very like number 1 or number 2 slot at the tip and at the rear, and then your height over bore will only be maybe an inch to 7/8 of an inch. But once you start messing, you're trying to put an optic on there. Make sure that you do a 25-yard zero, and you understand, where at 25 yards to like your 100 zero or your 75 zero is at, and then learn where to make your adjustments and calls at. I see a lot of guys that run AUGs for two-gun competition or like the EDC games that I compete in. They try an AUG and they instantly they're aiming for headshots and hitting body cavity A-zone shots, or they'll get so close that it just shoots over the target because they don't have the adjustment right. So just make sure that if you try close range with it, that like a 25 or a 20-yard zero, and then find your zero at 60 or 75. So I hope that helps you or gives you an idea of what you're looking for. Wolf, so I was trying to see what your comment was. This guy. What do you mean for starting? Oh, okay. Well, if I saw your last comment, yeah, I mean, trust me, buying. Oh, you're welcome, JW. I mean, darn it. Yeah, just fine. Yeah, trust me, when it comes to justifying the cost of the optic, I mean, it just really, trust me, go grab a cheap end. You can go to your Gander Mountain or a Sports Academy. Go get a Leopold, like their 3x9 American line. I think they used to be called the VX line. Just grab like their base model, their $200, $300 scope, and compare it in store to like a Vortex or to a Bushnell or a Simmons scope. Will give you a really good. I mean, even on those $300 scopes, like try to look across the store and read one of the billboards or aisle number lines. Like literally try to read it, and then zoom in on the power to like midway power and look at it again, and you'll start noticing some of the differences in those scopes. And when you get into the higher end ones, I can give a really good example. If you guys go back a year ago when I did the first test shots and was testing equipment with the SSG, I had a EOTech Voodoo, 5x25 by 56 millimeter. It's the smallest, most subcompact 5x25 optic that you can get. It is absolutely a phenomenal optic. When you compare that to my Leopold and 5x25, or which granted that's on Mr. H's rifle, I have the 7x35. But when you compare, we'll just stick with the 5x25s because we did it both side by side that day at the range. At 1,000 yards is where those two totally started outpacing. One, just that Leopold outpaced that Voodoo. From 0 to 1,000 yards, they were perfectly equal. As soon as you went past 1,000, the EOTech just started to fall out. It got fuzzy. It couldn't see past mirage. The glass just didn't work well with the reticle, and they both had H59 reticles. And that's something, until you can literally go look down a road or go out to the range to do, you don't know. And what sucks is trying to find nice high-end optics and actually getting behind them and looking through them at a true distance, actually out on the range. So when you go buy a good quality optic, it is so worth finding somebody that has some. Go to a competition, and I mean, come on, we're all gun guys. Like, somebody wants to take a look at something, or, kind of check it out, look behind it. 99% of us are like, go for it. I mean, I do it all the time on the range. If somebody asks me what it is, or wants to take a look at it, I don't let them shoot my rifle, just because that particular one I'm doing this program with, and I document all my rounds. But I mean, that's me. But I mean, I'll let somebody hop behind it. I'll unload it and even let them try the trigger system that's in it to understand like what it is and like how the bolt works. But on glass, I mean, it's nothing. If you can, step outside and actually look down good quality glass and see what the difference is, and you'll find that just certain brands, they'll hit a wall, and literally, it's just like if you close one eye and you can see perfectly across the street, and you can see the neighbor's mailbox and read their numbers. You close that eye and you look at your other one and it goes fuzzy. That's literally what will happen between two good quality optics at a distance. Getting into what is a good quality rifle to start, man, it's such a loaded question, and it kind of goes into where I'm going to talk about on choosing a rifle. But let's just say you want to shoot 1,000 yards. If you can find an old school Remington 700, like pre-1980s, in the wood stock, it's a deer rifle, and you just want to hunt with it, or you just want to shoot some paper, that's a good rifle. You want to do modern day 1,000 yard. You want to shoot suppressed. You want to put nice optics on it. You want to put a bipod on it. You can look at a Tikka or a Bagara rifle, and that just makes it an idea for like the 1,000 yard shot. Are we going to shoot steel? Are you going to shoot paper? If you're going to shoot competition, those two. I mean, two of those rifles won't even work for competition for the speed and what you're going to look for. So it's hard. It's like, I need a pickup truck. And it's a good explanation is I need a pickup truck to do pickup truck stuff. Well, what are you going to do with the pickup? You gonna haul sod? You gonna be a soccer mom? You got to tow a 10-foot trailer or a 40-foot gooseneck. Do we need 4-wheel drive? Do we need 2-wheel drive? So, yeah. So, I mean, it kind of gets into that one. Make and model like caliber. I see that you asked that. Caliber, you need to figure out. I'm not a 6.5 Creedmoor guy, and the reason why is I've seen it. I've seen what it does on range. I'm not impressed. For the cost of what 6.5 is, I'd just rather shoot 308. And I've actually got some funny stories and things I'm going to talk about later in the show. But totally not impressed with 6.5 at all. I would not own one. I mean, well, I'll take that back. I owned a 6.5 and a Scout to demo and play with. Good rifle. It worked. And away it went. I did not keep it. I just did not like the overall of it. Getting into barrel, minimum, no matter what caliber that you pick. This would be really, really simple. 20 inches at bare minimum, and you're rifling in the rifle. Basically, you want to get 2 rotations. So let's just say 308, 20-inch barrel. The rifling has to be 1 in 10. That will give you your spin rate. Do not buy one in 12 or 1 in 13 or 1 in 11. The spin ratio of the bullet won't work. No matter what caliber that I have found that I've dealing with this program and writing and doing it, at bare minimum 20 inches, and you want like a 1 in 10 twist. If I could have got away with like a 1 in 9, would have worked. Or if I could have got like a 26-inch barrel with a 1 in 10, that would give you a 2.6 twist ratio for the length of the barrel. But that's what you're looking for. You're looking for the length, the twist rate to equal 2 rotations from tip to tip. So 1 in 10 and 20 inches is an easy number to explain. Cartridge, I mean, if you're just going to go punch paper with it, and that's all you're going to do, I mean, you can shoot 5.56 to a certain distance. I mean, that's kind of not knowing like where you want to go, but like PRS shooting, you're going to you want to get into the 6mm 30 caliber or bigger cartridges. So 308, 300 Win Mag, 300 Ultra Mag, any 338 Lapua, anything 6.5 and up. Some of the 7mm stuff works really, really well, depending on like where you're going to go in that distance. But that's getting into what I'm going to do with this program and explain, per video and give you guys some stepping points. I hope that helps, but it's such an in-depth question. Here, check. Let's see. Hello, Mel. Oh. Let's see here. Some tools and equipment for PRS, you can literally make at home. If you guys check out, I made barrier bags, and I built those here at home out of 511 stuff, so that was really cool. Reloading, I'm hoping I can get a very good reloading company I can go like hang out with them and actually do an interview process. One thing I will not be able to help you guys with when I do this series is going to be reloading. I understand the theory behind it, but I am not a reloader, so I won't be able to help you there. You want in? Go ahead. Oh, this one is. Hold on, guys. I gotta relight this thing in. It is definitely not like one of my Nat Shermans that will go through a conversation and not stay lit. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good people. I know a couple reloaders just here through this industry, but the best information from somebody that literally, and I'm going to tell you I know this much on reloading, is if you want to learn it, get yourself a Hornady reloading book, or like I'm trying to think of what the other companies. Hornady's got one. I just used Hornady. Grab one of their reloading books, and the thing looks like a freaking encyclopedia, and read over it. I know nothing about powders, powder rate burns for the different material ones. I know there's numbers and there's letters, and not an idea. I have no reference point for that stuff. I can tell you about projectiles and what to look for like weights and grains and bullet shapes. I know what I want in those, but putting them all together and like picking what primers you want, or if you get into like the way the cases are made, there's cases that have a single ignition point and some that actually have where the primer goes in the back. It actually has ports drilled in each corner of the cartridge, and they're all different. I don't know which one works better or not. If you guys are interested in any of that type of stuff and you can want to learn how I've been learning, uh, not Defiant, Unknown Munitions on Instagram has a ton of cool info, and I like reading their website and kind of asking them questions here and there. Uh, Another thing we're going to talk about is going to be suppressors, and there's a Alabama Arsenal is probably the best YouTuber that that knows about suppressors. Let's see, William. Let's see here. Let me see your odd question. It's not off topic, man. If you have a question or want to know something, just ask it. I'm just stuck here on this 1 mile project trying to explain it. Let's see. No, it's not my interest in inventing my. Okay, so William, so on the AUGs, you're wanting to buy a new one? Yes, they are making new AUGs. They've never stopped since Steyr came to the U.S. What's happened in the last 24 months or 18 months is everybody on this planet has lost their ever-loving mind about COVID, and the world shut down and turned upside down and then turned inside out. So they're out there. Uh, they're available. The problem is that everybody got Uncle Joe money and Trump money and lotto money, and they've bought everything and totally zapped the market. But yeah, no, Steyr's still making them. If you want to call Steyr, email me at TnSteyr at Gmail. Just all, just like my username, just TnSteyr at Gmail. Email me. I'll send you Steyr's telephone number and who to talk to down there at their, the sales department. I know 2 or 3 of the sales guys actually know the national rep for the USA. I can tell you who to talk to. I can send you their info, and they can tell you and get you on a list. But I can tell you right now, last time I checked or heard anything about it, it was here in the last 90 days or so. I believe they were still like plus 6 months out. So if you were to buy one or put one on order today, it'll be like 6 months. If you want one today, the standard sites. I mean, Gunbroker, Arms List, your local gun shop. Hell, you hop on one of the AUG forums and see who's doing what. I know PJ's has, parts if you want to put one together, or if you're looking for a component. I mean, PJ's is a really good source for that. Now assembling an AUG is not like assembling an AR. You cannot buy. Do not, please, for the love of God, do not buy one of the old military STG 77 kits, which is a barrel and a stock and like a trigger pack. You will not get a receiver. Steyr, since the whole time I've been around with Steyr, I know of 10 receivers in 20 years that have come to the market that were for sale. You cannot buy a receiver. You can get a bolt group, you can get a bolt carrier. You cannot, and I'll bet reputation and money to this. I know of 10 in the last 18 years, 20 years that have come on the market. That is just something that is not available. So please do not buy a parts kit thinking you can reassemble one. If you buy a parts kit, you're buying one to fix one that you already have a receiver for, or you're buying one, pieces and parts to hang up on a wall, because it's cool to have the old military stuff to look at. But it's really not functionable with the new model, the A3M1. You cannot cross component swap some of those pieces and parts out. So hopefully that helps you on that one, or will save you from making a horrible mistake. In the last 12 months, I've had 2 people contact me and say that they bought a parts kit. Where can I find a receiver? And like, you wasted $500 or you wasted $1,000. Like, don't do that. Biggest thing for like one of those guys is to basically buy one for a barrel, or if you can get a bolt carrier group out of one or something, like that's what you're buying it for, or just nostalgia. Oh, all right. Well, I think that's well enough about 0 to 1 mile. Granted, I mean, if you guys want to know more, like I said, I was going to talk about suppressors. I can go back to that. Alabama Arsenal, if you guys want to know about suppressors or devices for suppressors, like, he is probably the best YouTuber. Second underneath that would be to actually go to like Silencer Shop, Silencer Shop, and watch their YouTube videos or their Instagram feeds on it. And then if you have a suppressor company that you like, go watch one of their videos. I like Dead Air stuff. They do live streams every Friday, and I love to harass and bother them and ask them stupid technical questions that I just can't find literature on. And they're always really good about responding or answering a DM through one of their social platforms. So that's a really good one. But sadly, I bug the hell out of Alabama Arsenal. I start off, I'm sorry, I have to ask a stupid question, but I don't understand suppressors. So hopefully I can convince him one afternoon to sit down with me and explain suppressors, like idiot proof, how to, like, hey, this is a suppressor. This is what it does. It'll help my knowledge. So I am totally a novice when it comes to silencers, suppressors, and stuff. I know it sounds good. I know it works on my gun, but I totally ask them. I take his word. I take his expertise 100%. So if you guys want direct from the horse's mouth, that's who you need to talk to. I'll be more happy if you have direct questions, or when that program comes up. Hopefully, I'll have the experts and people that can school me, and they'll explain that one. So, talk a little Steyr pistol news and things that are going on. If you guys check out the last week on Instagram or on Facebook, because those kind of parallel each other, I'd say 90% of the time they match. I don't put non-corresponding info together. I try to keep those going, so I don't have to worry about where did I post it. Double click holsters is still, as of today, which, what's today? Today is May the 15th of 2021. Double click holsters is still the only manufacturer that is producing a MF holster specifically designed for the Steyr A2 MF, and they make it in all 3 variants. They make it in L, M, and C. If you guys want a holster, need one, and granted they do support the channel, they help out, they send me product, so yes, I'm biased towards them because they make good quality stuff and I like it, and that's what I use. So fair warning, when I talk about double click, yes, they send me stuff, but it's because I would buy it, or I'm asking them to make me something specific. So just to be fair for you guys to know that. But they sent me 2 new holsters. One is called the Ghost, which is the one that is basically kind of looks like a taco holster or just a trigger guard holster. And then they sent me the brand new 3-way, which the 3-way is going to replace, probably here in the next 6 months or so, it is actually going to replace the inside the waistband standardized holster. And now this is company-wide, model-wide. So this is just not Steyr specific, but it's gonna replace those. But the new 3-way is actually a inside the waistband, an appendix. It is a 2-point system and a single point clip system, which I'll demonstrate and show. I've been using both since they came in, alternating every other day between them, going back through them, going over the designs. So I'll give you guys a good in-depth review of them. I'm gonna try to use them both for 30 days. Granted, I know what the design is, but I want to get 30 days of actually using them and going over them, so there's no hidden features or surprises between them in the review. It'll kind of be a short term, 30-day. I've had them for this long, actually carried them, but the Ghost holster is basically a direct replacement. There's no giant modifications to it, like in an overall sense. It's been more refined. It's been thinned out. Surprisingly, it's actually about an inch smaller than its predecessor. So I like it. It just has an additional attachment option. So that's been really cool. Actually wore it all day today in appendix in a 2-point configuration, in what I call skinny jeans. So it, you guys know I'm tall and fat. I don't wear skinny jeans, but standard ones. The Ghost holster is an in between of a taco holster and a trigger guard system. So it's their take on it. That one, when I got it, it looks cool. I'm playing with it. Its biggest drawback is it's a single point, but it's purposely designed more for like guys that wear shorts or like really loose fitting like sweatpants. It's that quick, I got to run out to the mailbox. I need a holster, or I'm gonna stick something in the safe. It's not so much my daily carry. I don't know how I like it right now for an everyday, an EDC holster, but that quick one to run to the grocery store, or run out to the mailbox, or just that quick holster. I'm liking it for that. I don't know long term, for like an EDC style setup or a primary rig holster. I don't know yet, so I'm still kind of working on that one to give you guys an idea. But I'm posting pictures. I sent some out today. That's taken off. And if you guys go back probably about a month or 2 months ago, you'll see some design idea. I was playing with a holster to actually have a mag carrier with it. I sent that to DoubleClick, and they're working on that. And we're prototyping a complete new holster. It will be for Steyr's first, and then if it works and everybody likes it, and there's interest, they're going to move it into all product lines. But that is going to be an inside the waistband / appendix rig that will be basically like a Ghost holster with a built-on mag carrier. So they're working on it. I've sent them some more pictures and measurements and tilt designs and everything that I want. At minimum, I'm going to have me a fancy one-off holster, but if you guys like it, they're telling me if everything goes well, they should have it for this year's range day. So, we'll make a quick announcement towards the end of this live stream before it goes official next week. August 21st, 2021, Royal Range, Nashville, Tennessee. You're going to want to show up. I kid you not, the people we've got scheduled, as long as nothing bad happens, and granted that's always a thing, God forbid someone doesn't change their mind or something screwy happen, you guys are going to want to attend my annual event this year. You guys know I do not put my name in for any of the prizes. I don't hold back on any of the prizes, any of the demo stuff that they send, any company sends me. They send it, and I get to play with it for like 30 days prior, check it out, and then it moves on. It goes to you guys to win at the show, and you have to be there. You show up, you throw your name in a fishbowl. We start doing live drawings. Last year we did a drawing every half hour. This year's grand prize, trust me, I wish I could put my name in the hat. I'm gonna have to talk to this company because I want one. Like, trust me, you're going to want to be there. If you guys want to come shoot, you want to enjoy a phenomenal day at a beautiful indoor range, Hangout Music City, August 21st, Royal Range, Nashville, Tennessee. I kid you not, don't want to miss this year. It's going to be awesome. And I'm trying to get a bunch more companies on board and have a normal party and hangout, come shoot, hang out for the day. I'm going to bring everything out of inventory here that I play with and check out. You guys can come play with it, shoot it, enjoy it. All you have to do is pay for the ammo. You can buy it at the range, and you can shoot whatever I bring as much as you want. We're going to bring steel targets from AR 500 targets. We're gonna have a bunch of the Steyr stuff that I've got. I've got some Sky pistols, some Walthers. Uh, should have some CZ stuff. So everything that I'm demoing, playing with, checking out, I'll bring everything, and you guys can check it out. And we should have some cool guest people there. And then the range themselves has a crap ton of full auto stuff. They've even got a mini cannon that you guys can hop up there and just annihilate a paycheck and just rip down range. So it's awesome. Check them out. Go over their website or Instagram, Facebook. I think they even have a TikTok. But Royal Range, go check them out. See what all they got. It's worth taking a mini vacation. Come out for the weekend. It's going to be a Saturday in August, and we're going to be there. I'll be there first thing in the morning when the store opens up, but normally we kick off things at about noon and run through the end of the day. So it's an all-day affair, and about an hour to hour and a half before the end of the day for the store to close is when we do the big main drawing and have shoot competitions and stuff. So if you guys want to come out, hang out, do a meet and greet, see some other YouTubers and people from the industry, that's definitely the event to come to. Oh. Ooh. Let's see. We're getting towards. We've been doing this for an hour. I appreciate you guys and everybody that's been in, out, asked questions and stuff. I think the only last thing that I can think of real quick for this week, I went to 511 today in Memphis. Granted, guys, I like 511 equipment. That's one of the closer stores. There's actually one in Nashville, but to kind of give a shout out to the Memphis store. The people that are there are really awesome. They've always got good stuff. 511's running a sale right now with like 20% off until Monday. So if you guys want any equipment, everything on their website, everything in their stores was all 20% off. And I went shopping today. I'll get some pictures. I got a new range bag, picked up some new shoes, and even picked up one of the 511 kilts. Granted, I got it about a week ago, but next EDC games, for a good funny joke, if you guys want to see something hysterical, I am going to run a 2-gun competition in a kilt with full kit and see how fast I can run it. I don't know if anybody will want to run behind me. So I figured that'll be a hoot to actually see somebody run a 2-gun competition and full stages all in a kilt. I haven't seen anybody else do it, so I'm gonna be screwy and unique that way. So did it, and I was really happy, and I definitely am gonna get a picture of this. If you guys know what a drop bag is, or just a catch bag, which you normally throw it like on your plate carrier or off your gun belt, 511 actually has a really nice roll up. It kind of rolls and sandwiches all into itself. It's set up for Molly. I finally found, I've been searching, and a few of the military companies, they have some kind of a drop bag or the catch bag, but I just haven't found one I liked, and 511 had one, and they were totally on sale. I think I got it for $13 or $14. So if you guys are looking for it, they've also got some really cool medical bags and just a ton of new Molly and web belt design, components, parcel, small bags, kit stuff for tourniquets, gloves, actual med kit bags, and those things. But I ended up picking up one of the new Rangemaster bags today, which was awesome. And like I said, the Memphis store, if you guys are around in Memphis, it's right over by the Wolf Chase Mall in Memphis. Basically look for Best Buy and Academy Sports in the Wolf Chase area and check out their store. But it's, like I said, they're awesome. They got fat man sizes. That's the store in Tennessee that should be the Nashville store should be modeled after, which I think Nashville's like in their top 5 big ones, at least for the South. I know it is. But the Memphis people are just phenomenal, and they even carry Benchmade blades. So I thought it was cool when I was hanging out there today. Walked in and they just, not to say they treated me different from most people, but I mean, you walk in there and it's attention to detail, and they're just phenomenal, nice people to deal with over there. So if you guys need anything, that's a store that I use, and I recommend that one. So that's it. And this thing, granted, this is that pastel. I'm gonna finish it tonight. Havana Cuban. We'll save the wrapper. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Sorry, it probably is not going out there. I'm sure if you really toked on it, it would stay lit and good, but it's a nice, fine cigar. Alrighty, guys. Well, I believe that's going to call it for the night. I'll get some more pictures out. I think the last picture today on Instagram that I published, and I'll put it up when this live stream ends. I'll see about putting it up on the channel. You can check it out. I'm doing some stuff with Defiant Munitions, or I hopefully will be doing some more stuff with them. They've got some really, really amazing ammo. So, should have a article written up for them in about 30 days. So, check that out. There's an awesome picture. If you guys are in, I know a lot of people don't like Facebook, but check out the Instagram page. There's a beautiful photo I got done today. I'm really proud of that one. So check it out, and then go check out Defiance Munitions, and I think you guys will be highly impressed. So I think that'll end it for this weekend. Remember, if you guys have any questions, need some direct answers, I'm always around. You can DM me, Instagram, Facebook. Articles are at WordPress. You can ask questions here on the YouTube channel. Granted, I try to respond to everybody, but sometimes I don't get notifications. But when I see it, I will respond to you in some form or fashion. If you need a direct help or direct questions, or need to talk to me on the phone, the easiest way to do that is to email me at TnSteyr.com, and I'll answer emails and get a hold, and we can chat. I'll answer any direct questions or anything I can help you with. Alright, guys. Well, enjoy your Saturday evening and festivities. The weather's nice here in Tennessee, and I'm going to sit back and I'm going to finish off my whiskey and my cigar. So, till next weekend, good night.